Again, got to make sure you get this little tiny piece. And you can see sometimes it's so small in here. I got this other line and selected it when I didn't want it, so I got to turn that one off. I only want this line that goes around the outside. Alright, so I've got all my lines selected. And now this time I'm going to take my follow tool and use this part as a pattern. And look what happened. When I picked that one, it drew the shape that I wanted and drew no extra parts. Now, one of the things that did happen, you'll notice this line went away. There's a solution to that because it's really still there. And we'll bring that out in here just a second. Alright, so there's our shape. So sometimes playing around to find which pattern is the best can really save you a lot of work and give you exactly what you want. Let's fix this line that didn't get in here and show up. So I'm going to click on this to highlight this section. I'm going to go to View and Hidden Geometry, and as soon as I do that I can see where the line is that I want. Click on the pencil tool or hit Line for Line tool, and it helps if you're kind of in close, and I'm going to redraw over the top of these, and I need to make sure I get that little green dot before I click on it. So what I'm doing is I'm telling those invisible lines by drawing over them that I want them to be visible. And you can do that anywhere on your pattern or your design from time to time. So as long as there is an invisible line, you can go back and turn it into a visible one. And I only want this one line this time, so that's why I'm clicking. Alright, so now if I move back out, click in the gray area, so I deselect everything, go back up to View, turn Hidden Line off, and we can see our end design with our lines in it. Now we get an anomaly right here where these lines kind of crisscross in not exactly the right place that we wanted. And part of the reason is as the pattern follows this line back here, it can't exactly follow the line in the front. So what it has to do is kind of overlap or squeeze some of these shapes to make them fit into place. There is a way that you can move some of that, and I will show you if you want to work with it. I don't know that it's that necessary in what we're doing with this design again, but you might want to know it. I'm going to highlight this line and make sure I get every segment of the line highlighted. Move it up there so I'm not competing with the floor plan pattern to see my line. And so once you have the line selected like this, then you want to turn your pattern around so it lines up looking with the red axis, back into the red axis. Pick our rotate tool, and you want to make sure that you see the red, because see, we're looking down the red axis. That's our reference we want. If you got down too low here, you might see it as a blue. We want the red axis. Hold down the Shift key, which keeps that from jumping around. See, I can move it here and it's going to stay on the red axis. If I didn't have the Shift key, when I come in here, see how it changes to different angles? And I don't want that. For what I'm going to do, I want to make sure it stays on the red axis. So hit the Shift key, bring it down and click on this corner. Come click on this corner, and then you see you can drag that down to a different place, and you can manipulate each one of those lines to get them closer to maybe the angle if you want to be very, very precise. I don't really think it's necessary, and I think if you stick with this you'll see why I'm saying that. Now to get rid of this, I'm going to hit just the Escape key, and that should pop back to where it was. I'm going to hit the space bar to get me back to just the Select tool. And we do have another anomaly here, is because of the way these bent the corner, excuse me, what happened is we got two shapes overlapping each other. And where this intersection is, we can't see that or find it. And if you were to get the right angle, you'd see this sticks up higher above this one. So again, what we're going to do is click on this one, highlight it, right click, intersect with model. And if you watch right in this area, as you click the intersect with model, you will see a new line drawn. There it is. And that line is the place where these two shapes actually converge and come together to create the shape. And now we can go in and see. If I click here, you can see that those little triangles are separate from the rest, so that I can click on the outside, highlight the outside lines, and delete them, and I can get rid of this overlapping piece. And we even have a smaller piece here. Yeah, double check. Okay, and eliminate it. Alright, so there is our inner pattern for our trailer, and we'll next go, I'm going to stop at this point, but we'll come back and draw the outer shell and put the outer shell in place, as well as completing the entire shell of our design.